What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Just back getting another video. This is your one-stop shop for anime and manga. Let's get into it. Real quick, I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone who's been showing me support. And if you're new here and you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so you know I post another video. Now, let's get into my manga haul. I'm proud to say that I stood on budget for this manga haul. Unlike my previous one for last month, I definitely need to take a break just to get a few series that I really enjoy, I was really looking forward to, and I can't wait to show this. My first pickup was Crazy Food Truck. So I picked up Crazy Food Truck Volume 1 and Crazy Food Truck Volume 2. Crazy Food Truck is about a guy named Gordon who is a food truck vendor in this post-apocalyptic world where everything is covered by desert and sand. He comes across this girl who eats like a black hole, and when she eats all of his food, they go on an adventure to find more food. However, there's a twist. When you find out the militia is after the girl, you get a little glimpse into a secret that Gordon's been hiding. This is a nice short series, and because it's on the shorter side, it's very fast-paced. There's always something happening, always something going on. The volumes are very action-packed. There's a lot going on, a lot of information that gets thrown at you, and it's interesting because there's so much that happens, but when you read it, everything is not chaotic. Everything seems like it just flows. Now, I already did a video on Crazy Food Truck, so if you want my in-depth thoughts about the series and what I like about it, definitely check out that video. Quick word of warning for anyone who's underage, there is an explicit content label on this manga volume, so if you're under the age of 18, you should probably talk to your parents, see if they allow you to read this. But everyone that's over the age of 18, you definitely pick it up. This is a very good read. There's only about, I think, going to be 3 volumes that come out, and it's super fun. Like I said, so fast-paced. Definitely give it a try. The next series I picked up was a series that I didn't really think I was going to like when I first heard the concept. But when I read it, I really truly fell in love with it because it's just so funny. It was so good. It's not what I was expecting at all. And that's Candy and Cigarettes. This ex-cop gets hired in a new job looking after this 11-year-old girl. And everything is going good until he finds out that this little girl happens to be a fully trained assassin. That's right, you didn't hear that wrong. This little girl right here is a fully trained assassin. She is crazy. She knows what she's doing. And it's just incredible because you see the dynamic. Because this is an older guy, he's more of a grandfather figure to this little girl. And it's just very funny, their dynamic, because there's a lot of serious moments because she is an assassin. So she does have, you know, her contracts that she has to do. But when it's just them two together, their interactions are always so funny because at the end of the day, even though she's a fully trained assassin, she's 11, and this dude is maybe in his 60s, trying to get this job, trying to get this money so he can help other people of his family. I definitely recommend Candy and Cigarettes. I was not expecting this at all, especially to be how funny it was, because I knew it was about the girl who's an assassin, and I'm assuming, okay, she's an assassin. It's probably going to be a more serious series, something that maybe she has a bad backstory or anything like that, but that's completely not the case. It's a lot more, I guess I would say, lighthearted than any other maybe assassin series, anything like that. It's almost similar to that of Spy Family without the slice of life, if that makes sense. The next series I picked up was, of course, one of my favorite. If you watch my videos, you know how much I love this series, and that's Volume 8 of Zom 100, Bucket List of the Dead. If you watch my videos, you know how much I love Zom 100, and it's just one of my favorite series I've been reading because it's just so funny, so quirky. I will say one thing I really love about this volume specifically was the fact that, I'm not gonna lie, even though I love this series, I was starting to get a little bit burnt out on it because every volume is essentially the same thing. They do these crazy, wacky things to complete the bucket list, and yeah, it's cool how they complete the bucket list and how there's all these different trials and tribulations that they go through trying to complete it while dodging zombies, while meeting new people, while going on this grand adventure. And I don't know how it happened, but the main character of the series in this specific volume was starting to get burnt out as well. And that was just a funny coincidence that me, myself, the reader who's been enjoying this series for the better part of, I want to say, 6 months, was starting to get burnt out a little bit. And so was the main character at the exact same time. And you see this series is a lot more thought-provoking because it's essentially about him dealing with the fact that he's doing what he wants to do all the time, but what happens when you got so much freedom is you do get bored. So this volume specifically tackles that, and definitely pick up Zom 100 because this volume was definitely a much slower tone compared to the other ones. It's definitely more of a standout volume, I would say, but definitely pick this up. I love Zom 100. You guys know how much I love Zom 100, and this is one of those series that I can't wait for it to get an anime because I think once it gets an anime and people see just how quirky it is, how funny it is, and the different take on the zombie apocalypse genre, I think everyone's going to like this. So hopefully this gets an anime so everyone can watch. My next pickup is something that is very near and dear to my heart. This is essentially, I guess, one of my first anime that I've ever watched, even though at the time I didn't know it was anime, and that's YuGiOh. So these YuGiOh 3-in-1s, they don't really have manga volumes. This one, I believe, may be manga volume 8, if it was counted like that. So I have 8, 9, volume 10, volume 11, volume 12, and finally volume 13. This holds a very special place in my heart because at the time I was a kid and I didn't know, things like Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Pokemon. I didn't know these were anime. To me, they were just Saturday morning cartoons. They were just cartoons I would watch when I would get home from school. And Yu-Gi-Oh, to this day, I still play the card game. So Yu-Gi-Oh holds a very special place in my heart. I truly do love this series so much. And I read it all on the Shonen Jump app. And it's just so good. I think everyone can really appreciate Yu-Gi-Oh. And I'm not going to lie, my favorite part of Yu-Gi-Oh is probably the season 0. If you've seen the anime, if you've seen like the dubs, the fan dubs and things like that, you know what season 0 is. It's before Duelist Kingdom, is before everything. It's the very beginning of the manga. And for me, the art style in that, as well as the story, is very intriguing to me. I like having the darker version of Yami Yugi. Definitely piques my interest as a Yu-Gi-Oh lover. And probably one of my favorite, I guess, arcs of Yu-Gi-Oh was that beginning arc where they're playing these different games, and then eventually they do land on Yu-Gi-Oh, which is the Duel Monsters card game, and that's when the series, goes forward, and then you've seen the anime from there where Yugi plays Duel Monsters and he has to find his grandpa and, things like that. If you haven't seen Yu-Gi-Oh, definitely give it a watch because it's amazing. It's definitely old school. I don't think it really aged that well. It's more nostalgia for me, but definitely check out Yu-Gi-Oh if you haven't. The next pickup, I'm so excited that I found this. It goes right along with Yu-Gi-Oh, and this is my favorite, I guess, Yu-Gi-Oh spin-off. I don't know if you would call it a spin-off, but you know what I'm talking about, and that's Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds. I have volume 5, so I have volume 6 of Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, and I have volume 7. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds is my favorite version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Besides like that beginning first arc of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! But definitely Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds and the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, those are my definitely 2 favorites. I didn't really like GX that much. I liked Zexal a little bit. I've never really watched Arc 5. As far as Vrains, I've never watched it at all. And then I think we're on 7s now, or whatever. I probably missed something. But definitely, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is my favorite. Yusei is by far my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist. And I'm so excited that I was able to pick up a few volumes of the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds manga. I can't wait to read this once I have the complete series. And definitely check out and see what it is, because I heard it's so different compared to the anime. So seeing how different these type of series is very intriguing for me. I like seeing how anime and manga can differ. Even though I may love the anime so much, seeing how the manga did it is always intriguing for me. Now, we're almost done, and the next series is something that I wouldn't really recommend to you all that are watching. This is something more for me, something that holds a special place in my heart because I love the game, I love the series, and that's Animal Crossing. So I picked up Animal Crossing because I've always loved the Animal Crossing games, and the fact that Animal Crossing has now made a manga, I'm just truly enjoying it. Now, this is not something I could really recommend unless you really love the game, because this is just a simple gag manga, and if you really don't know the game, you don't understand the gags are in this, because they're doing essentially they're playing the game, but they're playing it in a weird way where they're doing everything wrong in a sense. The main characters in Animal Crossing, they do everything that you're supposed to do in the game, but they do it in a quirky way where it's kind of wrong in a way. And it's definitely not for everyone. This is one series that I really can't recommend to you unless you truly love Animal Crossing, pick this up. But that's as far as I'm going to say about Animal Crossing. The final thing that I picked up, and it's technically not even a pickup, this is just something that I happened to find while I was cleaning out my house. And I'm so happy that I found this. You have no idea what memories this brought to me. And that's Naruto, the anime manga. Naruto, the movie, Ninja Class in the Land of Snow, is probably the only real Naruto movie that I watched multiple times. And is probably the one, for whatever reason, that I have the most memory watching. So to pick up the anime manga that I found this. I picked this up years ago. I'm talking about, I probably picked this up when the movie first dropped. And it's just been in my house. As you can see, it's a little bit beat up, you know. I didn't keep it in the best condition because at the time, I wasn't really a manga collector. I just picked it up because I saw it and it was essentially the movie and it's in color. I'm so excited that I found this because me not even knowing I was going to end up being a manga collector, just having this piece of nostalgia, which is honestly probably one of my favorite Naruto movies other than maybe the last Naruto movie. This is definitely my favorite as far as when they are young. And I can't wait to just reread this. One regret, however, I wish I kept it in better condition. It is kind of beat up. It's definitely seen its wear and tear. But to have this in my collection, to have something unique to before I was even collecting, to have something from my past that, you know, it gets to be in my new collection now that I'm doing this journey, I'm super excited about. And this is definitely going to hold a very special place in my collection, especially when I pick up those Naruto box sets, because Naruto is the one series that is above all for me. I love me some Naruto. So that was my November manga haul. As you can see, it was pretty tame this month compared to last month, but I did kind of pick up a lot when I do see it myself when it comes to all the YuGiOh volumes, you know, the different volumes of Zom, Crazy Food Truck, and things like that. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video. And if you're new here, you haven't done it yet, consider subscribing, leaving a like, hit the bell so you know I post another video, because there's tons more of manga content coming, tons more of anime content coming. Let me know what kind of anime that you watch. Currently at this moment, I'm currently watching Chainsaw Man, My Hero Academia, the new season, and Bleach, the 1,000 Year Blood War arc. And I do need to get into Blue Lock. Let me know down in the comments if you're watching it or if you've read it. How is it? I do really like sports series. I love Kuroko no Basket. I love Haiku. And one of my all-time favorite sports series was Robot Laser Beam. Shout out if you know what that is. If I wish that one had a physical release, but that's a video for another day. So I do like me some sports anime. Let me know if Blue Lock is any good. I heard it really is, so I might just give it a try. That's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you for making it this far into the video. This is your boy Just. I'm off this.